have new information on that Waterburger worker accused of stealing a customer's credit card info to pay her court fines. Police have given her a week to turn herself in, but they learned she has since fled the state.
Look, with a setup like that, you guys knew 100% that there was no way I wasn't covering this story. There was no way I wasn't addressing this, because this woman is so stupid, so ridiculous, that she decided at her job at Waterburger to steal the credit card information from one of the customers in order to pay off fines and fees from previous criminal activity, thinking that this was a perfectly fine and adequate solution to her problems, ultimately leading to her, of course, being subject to more arrests, more fines, more jail time than she would have been had she not paid the fine. Now, we're going to break this down. We're going to talk about this. But before we do, I want to thank everybody who supports this channel via actualjusticewarrior.com/join.
Give me the money. Give me the money. Okay?
So like I said in the open, what we have right here is an incredibly unintelligent woman, an incredibly unintelligent criminal, which is unsurprising because criminals are often stupid, but I assure you, this woman has gone above and beyond with her stupidity in this particular incident, because not only did she steal the cards, like I said earlier, in order to pay off previous court fines, previous penalties for criminality, but she also fled the state when news broke that she was going to be arrested again, but now she's asking the state in order to give her a second chance as a fugitive in order to turn herself in, despite the fact that she has already fled the state completely. She's already gone. She's already in the wind, but now she's like, look, it's not fair for you guys to treat me like a fugitive just because I'm a fugitive from justice, just because I ran away rather than facing charges. And if you think I'm kidding about this, if you think I'm joking, just wait for the rest of the segment.
Sonoy police tell me that 25-year-old Aleefa Sumpter wants a do-over when it comes to turning herself in. The internet has already dubbed the Waterburger worker one of the dumbest criminals after she allegedly used stolen credit card information from a drive-thru customer to pay her own court fines.
Now look, normally on this channel, we are independent thinkers. We're free thinkers, actually. The most balanced free thinkers that you could possibly have. So we don't just go with what the internet says. We don't just go with the broad consensus. However, in this particular incident, the internet is acting more as the audience and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, which is the most accurate of all the lifelines. Therefore, I'm going to have to agree that this woman is in fact one of the dumbest criminals, if not the dumbest criminal of 2025 for sure.
Police say back in January, Sumpter was working the drive-thru at this Noonan Waterburger. A customer reported to Sonoy police that his credit card information was used to pay $400 in fines at the Coweta County State Court Probation Office. Investigators say they simply searched whose fines got paid. They say it was Sumpter, and her info revealed she worked at Waterburger. They asked the victim if he'd been to the burger joint. They say he said yes, he had. And he later picked her out of a lineup.
Did you guys hear that? Did you guys catch that? Because this was obviously the easiest case to crack in human history. This woman paid her own fines, her own court fees at the probation office using this guy's stolen credit cards. They discover that this woman worked at Waterburger, the same Waterburger that he used that card to buy food at before she ended up using those numbers in order to pay off her fines. So instantly, this was the easiest investigation opening to closing that you could possibly have. The lowest tier, the lowest IQ identity theft humanly possible, and it was all made possible by this wonderful woman who is currently a fugitive but asking for a do-over on her fugitive status.
Coweta County took out a warrant for probation violation. Sonoy police took out felony warrants for identity theft and credit card fraud. Keep in mind, Sumpter's probation was just for misdemeanor pot possession, so things have escalated significantly.
Yeah, this is honestly and genuinely some low IQ operation right here. She had misdemeanor marijuana possession, a small quantity of marijuana where all she had to do was be on probation for whatever set period of time in the state of Georgia and pay these particular fines. But rather than actually doing that, rather than using the money from the job that she works at Waterburger in order to pay those fines, she decided that it would be a much better idea to commit felony identity theft. By the way, there's also a bunch of other additional felonies because she was an employee, therefore in a position of trust with other people's accounts. So there's financial crimes that you can stack on top of that, credit card fraud and all of that, in order to get out of the consequences of a misdemeanor pot possession. Again, these people are absolutely insane. And this is one of the reasons why, by the way, when people say that all criminals are innocent Baba Angel Aladdins just trying to feed their starving family and it's economic circumstances and blah, 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 all that stuff that you hear from the left constantly, I need to remind you that most of these people are dumb. They're not smart. They only see the next instant gratification point, and that's what makes them dangerous. Imagine if she thought hurting somebody would lead her to the point where she could pay off this small fine. You think she'd hesitate to do it? This woman has obviously no mental faculties to engage with the world in any kind of intellectual way, so we cannot be surprised by her becoming dangerous in other instances when she thinks it will benefit her in this moment. Even though if she just had a hint, a scintilla of foresight, she would have realized that this was almost guaranteed to be a thing that she got caught for. The guy was obviously going to notice these unauthorized charges in order to pay these court fines. The police were going to notice that she paid them under her own name. They were going to figure out where she got the credit card. All of this could have been understood by somebody with a minorly acceptable IQ if they were actually thinking about this for more than a split second in the moment. Yet all of these thoughts, all of these consequences, all of this future planning ended up eluding this woman because she's incredibly stupid. It's not just one of the stupidest crimes that you can have. This is one of the stupidest criminals. She's not smart. She is definitely not fit for society, not because she's particularly shown herself to be violent and dangerous, but because she's completely unfit. I do not trust this woman to drive a car, let alone flip burgers at Waterburger. She obviously can't handle those tasks, and now she's going to lose her job, go to jail for felony identity theft and other financial crimes, not be able to get a job in the future, all because of a couple $100 in fines.
Authorities gave her until Friday to turn herself in, but they say she didn't. On Monday, they learned she'd skipped the state. After her story appeared on Fox 5 and on social media, seemingly everywhere, police say she contacted them, asking to turn herself in on Wednesday.
So like I told you earlier on, this woman obviously fled the state because she was trying to escape consequences. Again, no forward thinking at all for this person. You think she had an emergency fund in order to afford to be a fugitive for all this time working at Waterburger and not even being able to pay the small fines that she got for misdemeanor pot possession? Absolutely not. But then the story starts going viral on social media. She starts getting so much hate for being so stupid that she actually decided, because of the social media hate, because of people making fun of her, that she'd rather be in jail than out in the real world. Because what if somebody recognizes her, not for the fugitive that she is, but for the idiot that she is, but for the fool that she is? That is an embarrassment factor that she could not deal with. And if you don't believe me, that's actually what she said over the phone.
She's taken quite a hammering on social media. She made a mistake. She's not an awful person. But obviously made a bad mistake, and hopefully she'll learn from it and move on. Am I confident she's going to turn herself in? No. But we'll see.
Police say they have good reason to be skeptical, but they say they also don't mind giving her another chance to do the right thing.
Now, as far as I could tell, as of right now, Aleefa has actually not turned herself in, and since this segment is over a week old, that Wednesday deadline has now passed. However, I will continue looking to see if there's an update, so don't hold me to that, but it's just as of right now, according to my research at the time that I'm shooting this video, this woman is still on the loose, so she has no follow-through on turning herself in, which is just going to make things much, much worse for her. And by the way, her contacting the police to tell them that she needs more time in order to get her affairs in order to surrender to their custody will likely lead to a conviction on the fugitive charges, because now she can't even argue that she was unaware of the fact that there was a warrant out for her arrest. Now, of course, I want to know what you guys think about this down in the comments below. Is Aleefa, this absolute queen, the dumbest criminal that you've heard of, at least for this year? Or do you think she's actually a high-level genius by turning that small, finable misdemeanor into a felony, into multiple felonies, and being a fugitive from law enforcement? This was all to just get her name out there. No publicity is bad publicity, and we're talking about her, therefore it all worked out for her. Again, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you like this video, show them by leaving a like, subscribe for more content, follow me on my social medias, support me via the support links in the description of this video. This has been me talking about the dumbest criminal of the year. Till next time.